How the heck are you guys? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to the channel and welcome to a bit of an eclectic video. There's a lot of things I want to talk about to kick off the week, so let's get right into it. The main things we're going to discuss are we have some new codes that many of you can use. Maybe all of us, I don't know. I'm going to test it now, but there are some of the OG codes from Watcher of Realms that have been reactivated. I don't know why. Maybe it's for the anniversary, but we're talking about codes that came with launch in July 2023 that are working again now 2 years later when they hadn't worked in like a year. So this is really good. Any newish player, this will work for you. I already tested it on my other account, my old Fastidious account, and we're going to find out here on my OG launch account if it is also going to work. On top of that, we have a very, very, very spicy Soulstone in the Awakening shop, about as good as it's going to get. It is going to be Hex's Soulstone. I'd say anyone that uses Hex, loves Hex, has the gold coins to do it, and doesn't have A3, this is something you kind of have to pick up if you can do it. For everyone else, I'm going to explain that further because that's where I'm going to fall in. And then we've got a basically confirmed, like it is confirmed, it just hasn't been saying in the game, but we have every clue in the game that we know what date officially Moriden will arrive on. And Moriden is going to be such a good limited. I have a whole video that I'm breaking down his entire kit, a deep dive. If you like the Valara video, you'll love this video. And yeah, that will be either later today or at the worst case tomorrow morning. I promise. Let's get into it. All right. No Hex intro. We're going to talk about Hex Soulstone later. Let's get going. There's two things of housekeeping. You may have noticed I did not post a video yesterday. I did not post a video on Saturday. This is my first time ever. I've gone 2 days in a row without posting a Watcher of Realms video. And basically, just to pull back the curtain, this is something Ash does in his videos a lot, and I figured I should. Sometimes I worry mentally if I'm like too addicted to the grind. You know, I work a lot, but my job is really fun, so it doesn't feel like work a lot. And I just find myself doing this so often, I don't ever take a weekend off. And it was my sister's wedding. It was beautiful. It was so much fun. I was lucky to officiate the service, and it went as well as I could have hoped. And it was just one of the best weekends ever. So I took both days off from Watch of Realms. I hope you don't mind. The second thing I have to talk about is a little less happy. I guess there's a happy edge to it, and that's just Prospector is the best. We love Prospector, and there's something I'd like to ask you guys to do. He doesn't know I'm going to say this, but basically, at least one other creator, and I think maybe two again, reported Prospector for sending me the 50 seconds of raw footage you saw in the Valara video that I made. Obviously, my Valara video did well, and I thank you guys so much for enjoying it and watching it and supporting the channel. I guess that pissed someone off and they decided what Prospector did was unacceptable. Prospector didn't share one thing in that raw footage from his video that he sent me that was not shared in his video and in more detail in his original video. And I waited almost over half a day after Prospector's video to post mine. He was thrilled about it, but apparently there's some other competitive people who are not. Nothing about that is in violation of the test server. Once stuff is publicly available, it never says you can only share it publicly on YouTube for reaction content. But yeah, like they kind of chewed him out. And I don't know why this is the content creator environment we have, guys. I will tell you, me and Prospect were just talking about this in the DMs. Like, I think some creators think they need to be hyper competitive to succeed, and that's going to be the best move. And I'm here to tell you, at least in Watcher of Realms, I am the evidence. Being nice and collaborative is going to get you so much farther. And I would like to prove it. So all of you, there has to be at least a handful of you that are not yet subscribed to Prospector. I will put his link in the top pinned comment and the description again as a favor to me and as an FU, a fuck you to these people that reported him to the developers for doing nothing except for being a friend and supporting the community because people obviously liked the video. He just knew it would be helpful. Go subscribe to Prospector's channel, hit the notification bell. I'm so charmed by Prospector, but I'm in so much disbelief by these other people that are so disturbed and cucky that they have to go ahead and do this constantly. These rats. Get over yourself. Make good content, and you will get more views than me and Prospector. All right, let's continue. Codes. So these are some of the OG codes from the day the game launched. There are two, and they're actually very similar. So in case you don't know, you click on your avatar, you go to settings, you go to redeem code, and you go here. They're not case sensitive. The first one is War 777. The next one is War 888. What I've been told so far is War 88 should work. 888 should work for me. Apparently, it's just reinstated as a fresh code. I used both these codes like exactly 2 years ago. But I figured let's start with War 777 and see. But just if it doesn't work for me here right now live, I just did this 12 minutes ago on my 3-to-play account, and it does work on my 3Stidious account. And that's because I never used those codes because they were inactive when we did the 3-to-play account. So let's see. War 777. This has my personal redemption limit reach. That doesn't work. Does 888 work? That works. Okay, so if you've used War 777 before, it will not work for you. If you've used War 888 before, it will work for you again. And then if you've used neither of them, they're both going to work for you because that's what just happened on my 3Stidious account. I'll put the picture up right now of what each of them give you so you can see that. So a lot of you will be able to do this. If you weren't playing like within the first 6 to 8 months of the game, you've probably never been able to use War 777, so you can use it now. War 888 is working for everyone because I used that back in the day and it just worked for me again. So we have 2 new live codes, or 2 old codes that are now new live codes. And you can see this is the 888 one. So I got 1 rare summoning crystal, 30 diamonds, and a very negligible amount of XP and gold. But hey, we'll take it. Every single one of these gets us 1 step closer to Moriden. So you can see I'm at the point where I can nearly get Moriden after I just went for Fastidious. This is what I was telling you guys. I didn't buy any rare summoning crystals. I've done better in the events because my content creator diamonds maybe, but I also just had a huge stockpile. We'll talk about that in another video. I've used about 100 huge stamina pots in the Gear Raid 224 tournament. Actually, I can just show you really quickly, even though we're going to have a whole video about this. I put up a lot of points. I'm sure some people put up like 6 digits, but I put up 53,000 points. But yeah, I mean, in the not even 2 weeks, right, since Falsia happened, and I did exactly 210 summons there, I used all my rare summoning crystals. I'm already back up to 161. That won't be the case for some of you that are not endgame, but everyone should be back up to like 80 if you're playing hard daily and like finishing the events. So it just, I wasn't BSing you. I'm like, you're going to be able to go for Falsia, and then you're going to be able to have enough, and the events haven't even started yet for the anniversary. You're going to have enough for Moriden, and then it will be at least 2 weeks, if not 3 weeks, till the limited selector, and mark my words, you will have enough for that. As long as you're not using other summons and over-investing and stuff, if you're just going for those guarantees, it's going to happen for you. It's going to be great. So let's talk about Moriden, and then we'll wrap up with Hex. So this morning, they updated the guide section here, the game news section, with 2 hero showcases, one for Moriden and one for Valara. They never do this in-game, like an individual hero showcase spotlight, if the character is not coming soon. So what does this tell us? Well, we got another piece of information this morning. If we go to the event calendar, you can see on Friday, it is not a Moriden banner, and frankly, we should be looking at Thursday, because almost always limited banners start on a Thursday. So because we know Moriden is not coming this week, we're getting a pretty cool banner, which I'll talk about probably on Wednesday, for Constance and Magda, 2 very, very good heroes, but really tough time to be getting a banner like this with all the stuff we know that all the stuff we know is already coming with the anniversary. But a very good banner. And we also have a 2x live, and this is both summoning currencies, right? We got our blues with the invocation, we got our divines, the golds there. But basically, because we know Moriden is not coming this weekend, and because they are already promoting him and Valara now in-game, and because we know they have a bond skill, they will 100% run them together, we can confidently say it is coming next weekend, a week from this coming weekend. So what does that look like? This is what I predicted about a week ago, but I would actually just fully describe this as hard confirmation. Almost certainly Moriden is coming on July 17th. Like, the only other time he could come is July 16th. Occasionally, they'll start a limited event, a limited banner on a Wednesday, not a Thursday. But I'd say at least 80% of the time they start on a Thursday. So if you had to bet money, it's July 17th. Otherwise, it's just one day earlier on July 16th. Likewise, almost always, with very rare exception, the ancient banner, the ancient summoning banner, is going to be on a Saturday. So that means Valara would come on July 19th. They're already promoting her in game. There's no way she's coming this weekend because Moriden isn't, so she will come next weekend. The only other day she could come is July 18th, because occasionally when they run the limited on the Wednesday, they'll run the ancient on the Friday. But you can, I promise you this will happen unless they do the biggest switcheroo we've ever seen. It's going to happen. We know the 16th or the 17th, very likely the 17th will be Moriden, and then the 18th or the 19th, very likely the 19th will be Valara. And I'm going to call my shot right now. I'm feeling good about it. I'm also hearing some mumblings, right? But I'm feeling good about it. This is what I said the whole time. The main ancient banner for the anniversary would be Ingrid. I think they're going to run Valara and Ingrid together. All right, finally. And sorry if my voice sounds a little shaky. I was doing a lot of singing and screaming and speaking. It's weird being like the brother at a wedding, the older brother, because I knew everyone there, so I talked to everyone. And I actually feel like maybe I talked to even more people than my sister because people were kind of respecting her space as the bride. You don't get the same space when you're the brother. So it was if you think I'm a yapper, it was a yappy weekend for me. Maybe an all-time yappy weekend for yours truly. Last thing's going to be the Hex Soulstone. We've got the Hex Soulstone in the Awakening shop. This is with your gold Legendary Awakening tokens. You can get these occasionally as like guild boss drops, but basically you get 100 when you sell off, you dismiss a legendary hero you don't want. I'm of the opinion you should never dismiss a legendary hero you don't have at A5. I think these tokens are a privilege for later in the game once you have a couple A5s. That being said, if you're like a really min-maxy, sweaty free-to-play and you're willing to take a risk selling someone that could one day get buffed into a Beatrix-level unit, that literally happened with Beatrix, and also even just Kai gets buffed into like a very good niche but high-level unit like Kai. If you want to take that risk, you can and sell them off. You'll have to sell off 4 legendaries for this. I really do suggest you never do it. Like, you never know when that big buff is coming. I know people love to sell off Azor or Cratch. I think one day the dwarves will get a big makeover. But it's up to you guys. This is about as good a value as there is because Hex's A3 is one of the strongest awakenings in the entire game. So if you have Hex A0 or A1 or A2, you're either, if you have him A2, you're getting the A3. And otherwise, you're just getting one step closer. What I'm doing personally, I summon a lot, right? I really do. I'm blessed by my content creator diamonds. So, I've done over 26,000 summons. Whenever I right now it doesn't seem like I have a lot because I haven't been summoning lately because I've been saving for the anniversary. But when I unload, I always end up with 2, 3, sometimes 4 dupes that I can sell. So personally, I will go for this. My Hex is A3. I'll actually show you all the awakenings right now. We're going to just glaze over A1 and A2 because they're basically nothing. They're just stepping stones. Actually, I will say A1 is a nice little boost in damage if you have his exclusive. Without his exclusive, you'll notice almost no difference in DPS. With his exclusive, maybe it'll be, call it 10% more damage probably. The A2 is nice. His base attack's not that high, so this brings him over 4K. This is, I think maybe brings over 41. Let me actually take a little peek. Yeah, actually it brings him close to 42K. Pretty high for a marksman. With that base attack. It's still good, yeah, but I would think it depends on the content, but for like guild boss and stuff, this isn't going to be skyrocketing his DPS. You're talking like single-digit percentage damage boost. The A3 is crazy. Basically, he can get up to a full extra 30 seconds on his ultimate, meaning it lasts for 1 minute and 5 seconds. That is just a lot and amazing, so that's the one you really want. The A4 is cool, especially in, if you're using him in like APOC or something, somewhere with really high magic resistance. But for Guild Boss and even Abyss, it's not going to make such a big difference. It's only 5% penetration. It's not that much. The A5 is cool, though. You're only really going to feel this again if you have his exclusive artifact, but, an optimal Hex will always have it. It's the best exclusive artifact in the game. So he's getting increased damage dealt by his 2 best cards. This is somewhere in the teens for a damage boost. So that's something eventually I want to get because I just love Hex. So I get A4 now. I have my Hex is at A3. It's a step in the right direction. But I would say that it's basically, if you're not in a situation like me, if you have A3, you're fine. I don't think you need to pick this up at all, especially because they're putting out, now that they do the double Legendary Soulstone, they're putting out more and more good stuff here. But for me, I feel like I'm in position to do this, so do it. I shall. I also haven't pulled Hex in like almost a year, so this just feels kind of good. Let's go here. You see this is my A4. Let's do it. And there you go. That's the video, guys. Ended up kind of being similar to the video I did last Monday, which surprisingly you guys really liked. So if you like this kind of thing where it's like, hey, start of the week, these are the 4 things I want to chat about today. These are the 4 things on my mind. I'm happy to do them. They're pretty fun for me. It kind of feels like a podcast or something. I don't know. Thank you. I've been Fastidious. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure you subscribe to Prospector's channel if you want to tell these chumps that they're chumps and you support people that support people. We're trying to make a nice community here, not one run by nasty, hyper-competitive incels. Thank you. Share it with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.